In this session, we discuss the key feature of Java is multi-threading in Java. In this session, we see what is the concept of multi-threading, how threads are being used in a program, what is the advantage of using thread in a program, what is the difference between single-threaded programming and multi-threaded programming, and how Java implements multi-threading in the programming at the programming level. When we write a program, the execution starts from the very first statement in the main program, and the flow is in a sequential manner. Each line is executed one by one. So that is the normal concept of a single-threaded program. If you want to implement more than one thread in a program, you have to find out the task in a program which can be run in a concurrent fashion or in a parallel fashion, or you can say the sub-process in a program which are independent of each other can be executed at the same time. So such sub-process can be represented by a thread. The meaning is that a large application having many processes, independent processes, can be subdivided and can be assigned as a thread. So a program is divided into different threads, and the threads can be started at almost at the same time. So a multi-threaded program, it contains two or more parts that can run concurrently, and each part can handle a different task almost at the same time. You can't say at the same time, but since if you have only one processor in your machine, the processor is so fast that switching between these tasks will not be felt by the user. Switching time is so less for a speedy processor. So each part can handle different tasks at the same time. Another concept of multi-threaded programming is that all the resources available in a particular device can be made of maximum use if you are writing the program in a multi-threaded fashion, because one thread, suppose it is using one resource, and that thread can use another resource. Same way, all the resources can be shared among these threads. As we have seen in a single single-threaded program, you have only one flow of control, starting from the very first statement till the last code of execution in the main program. But in a multi-threaded program, there are different flow of control. Each flow is associated with each thread. If you have 10 threads in a program, there will be 10 different flows of control of execution. That is another speciality of multi-threaded program. Now, a single program having many processes, when it is executed as a single-threaded program, it becomes a heavy weight single process. Whereas if you are dividing it into threads, each thread is a lightweight sub-process and they share common memory space. So multi-threaded program at operating system level supports multiprocessing capability. Many operating systems support multiprocessing. If you want to use the multiprocessing concept to the maximum level, you have to implement multiprocessing at the programming level also. Multiprocessing at programming level is implemented by means of multithreading. Many programming languages do not support multithreading. In contrast to that, Java is a multi-threaded programming language. It can implement the concept of multithreading at programming level by making use of different predefined classes in the Java package. So the simple question is that what are threads? It is the facility to allow multiple activities within a single process. So a single process is being divided into multiple processes. Each process is represented by a thread, and thread is always represented as a lightweight process. Just like a main program, a thread is a series of executed statements. It has a flow of flow of control, and each thread has its own program counter, its own stack and local variables. Why a program counter for every task is that every thread is that each thread has its own flow of control and it must know which statement to be executed next in that particular thread. So every thread manages its own program counter, and a thread is a nested sequence of method calls. There are a lot of methods included into a single thread. And finally, threads share memory, files and preprocessed states. Almost all the resources in a system, in a device, are shared among the threads which are started concurrently. From this discussion, we can conclude that there are a lot of advantages of using multi-threading at programming level. It performs asynchronous or background processing. It increases responsiveness of GUI applications. Rather than waiting indefinitely for previous subprocess to finish, each subprocess is being started execution at the beginning itself. So the results are getting in a faster manner. Maybe the first result will be get very fast of every thread. So the total responsiveness of a GUI application has been improved if the program supports multi-threading. It takes the advantage of multi-process system. In many devices, there is only one processor, and in that case, maybe single-threaded programming may go without further loss of processor time. But if a device has more than one processor, if multi-threading is implemented at programming level, the advantage is that each thread can be processed by each processor. So the processor time also can be shared among the subprocessor in a program. This is another advantage of using multi-threading at programming level. Multi-threading always simplifies the programming logic because a long program is being divided into multiple independent entities. And since the threads are being started concurrently, each thread is using its own resource. The utilization of the resources has been improved in the case of multi-threaded programming language. And as a result of all these advantages, we get a more economic status of programming due to the effective utilization of resources, and in case of a multi-process system, the processes are also being utilized to the maximum level. That's why the multi-threading program improves the economic status of the device also. So this is an introduction to multi-threading as a common feature of many programming languages. So this is how it is being represented in pictorially. In the case of a single-threaded single program, only one thread is there. Starting from the first statement of the main program, it executes in a serial manner till the last statement, last code of the main program. Whereas in the case of multi-threaded programs, the main program is divided into many sub-programs, and each sub-program is represented by each thread. And all the threads are independent to each other, and threads are being started almost at the beginning. So it goes in a serial fashion, and you have multiple flows of control because each thread has its own flow of control. If you look at the life cycle of a thread, there are different stages through which a thread goes during the execution phase. Beginning, a thread is being created by in the case of programming language, it is up to the syntax of the program. The thread is being created, that is a newly born thread. Then the thread is being started, goes to the runnable phase, and from the runnable phase, when the run method is being executed, it goes to running phase. From the running phase, sometimes it goes to the waiting stage, and when the execution is being finished, it is being destroyed, goes to the dead state. After the waiting stage, it may go to the dead state, or it again comes back to the runnable stage or running stage. These are the different stages of threads. A newborn stage begins the execution or begins the life cycle of a thread. Then it goes to the runnable stage, running stage, waiting stage. Waiting stage can again be timed waiting also, and finally goes to the terminated or dead stage. After the completion of execution, or after the necessity of the thread is been removed, it goes to the dead stage or terminated stage. With all this information regarding multi-threaded programming, we go to the main concept of our session, how threads are being used in a Java program. As we have seen in our earlier sessions, we know that Java is a complete object-oriented programming language. Every concept in Java is implemented by means of classes and objects, and same thing happens here also. In the case of multi-threading, the threads are being created and managed by means of predefined classes given as a part of the compiler. How a thread is being implemented in Java is being achieved in two different ways. First way is creating a thread class. Second way is converting a class to thread. First method is creating a thread class by deriving our class from the thread class defined in the package called lang. Thread is a predefined class in lang package provided for multithreading operations. Our class should be derived from this thread class to implement multithreading in our program. Another method is to convert a class into thread by means of interface. There is a runnable interface provided in the package of Java, and this runnable phase can be implemented by our class so that our class is been converted into a thread class. So creating a thread class is by means of inheritance. Converting a class to thread class is by means of interfaces. Threads are implemented in the form of objects because our class is been associated with a thread, predefined class or a runnable interface, and it is being implemented by means of a run method defined in the class. This is very important method in a thread class. We can say run is the heart and soul of a thread. Run method. It makes up the body of the thread. So a run method is the most important method in any thread class. In addition to the run method, there are a lot of other thread methods which can be implemented in our own thread class. Examples are start method, stop method, yield, suspend, resume, wait. These are the thread methods defined in Java package so that the thread can be maintained in different stages in the life cycle of a thread that we have seen in the previous slide. These methods help us to manage the execution of a thread defined in the program. The concept of these thread methods and implementation of the thread class it will be more clear once we see some simple programs using multi-threaded concept in Java. Here you can see a simple program. We are defining a class A, and you can see that it is extended from thread. Thread is a predefined class in the lang package as we have seen in the previous slide. So class A is extended from thread. All the predefined thread methods are available for class A also because it is been extended from thread class. As we have seen, there comes the main important method of a thread class, run. How we are implementing run here, you can see there is a for loop, I varies from 1 to 10 and thread AI will be displayed on the screen as a message. So A is a thread now, and you have defined another class B. It is also been extended from thread class. So B is a thread now, or you can say B has the power to create a thread, and by implementing the run method, it has its own run method varying j from 1 to 10 and displaying a message thread bj. And third class is been defined in the program, class C. It is also extended from thread method and it has its own run method, and you have the local variable k varying from 1 to 10 in class C. Coming to the main program, you can see that You are creating new threads, 3 threads in this program, using the class A, using the class B, using the class C. And you are starting the thread also using the start method defined in the thread class. Start is a predefined method defined in the predefined class thread in the package lang. Using the start method, we are starting thread A, thread B and thread C. Nothing else in the main program, you are just starting the thread. So what happens here is that all the threads are being started at the same time. Thread A starts execution. It varies values of I from 1 to 10. Thread B varies the value from J from 1 to 10. Similarly, C from 1 to 10. One speciality of this program is that you implement it in several times. You execute the program several times. You can see several different output for the single program. In some time when you execute the program, you can see some I values are printed, then some J values are printed, some K value, then again some J's, some I, some K, etc. It goes on. You can see that all the 3 threads are executed in a parallel fashion, so that we are getting results from all the threads almost simultaneously. There is no particular flow of control that some statements of A must be executed, then some B, some C, no, etc. It changes every time of execution. So this is the concept of multi-threading. Let us see some other thread methods other than run and start in the second program. Here you can see again class A extends thread. It has I values vary from 1 to 10, and you have implemented some thread methods over here. If I is equal to 1, yield is a thread method which gives control to another thread. When the value of I is 1, rather than continuing execution of this thread, it will give the processor to another thread. It will give the control of the processor to another thread, so that you can see that immediately the execution continues from another thread. And if I is equal to 7, you have called stop method. When the I becomes comes to the value 7, the thread will not be executed no longer. The thread is being destroyed. It comes to the dead stage. So you have seen yield, stop. Now if I is equal to 2, try sleep 1000 nanoseconds. The thread will be in a sleep mode, so that you can see that B and C are continuously executed and you don't get any output from I for 1000 nanoseconds. And after 1000 nanoseconds, it gains control of the processor again, and the output you can see on the screen. So sleep is been embedded in try block because it is a statement, it is a method which may produce some runtime error. So the all other programs we haven't used any special thread classes, thread methods. So same way you are starting the execution of A, B and C by creating the threads of A, B and C and starting them by means of the start method. The difference can be seen when you evaluate the results which you are getting out of the screen. Every time you execute it several times and you can see the difference in the result. There is a concept called thread priority in Java. In the previous 2 programs, we have given equal priority for 3 threads defined in the class, in the programs. we haven't given any priority for any thread. Every time you execute the program, you can see different outputs because all the threads have equal priority. In this example program, you are giving priority for threads by giving different priorities to each thread. You can see over here in the main program, you can assign the thread by means of a thread method called set priority. So you are creating using the class A, you are creating a thread. Using the class A, you are creating a thread over here. Using the class B, you are creating small b as a thread. So A, B, C are three different objects, or in our own language we can say A, B and C are three threads. And for the thread A, first thread A, we are setting a priority as 8. A numerical number 8 is being assigned as a priority of A. B is assigned with the maximum priority. Whatever be the maximum priority assigned in the device, that will be given for the thread B. And C has a set priority 3. So B has maximum priority, A has priority 8 and C has priority 3. You can see the difference in execution by starting the threads A, B and C and by running the program for different times. So different priority can be assigned to a thread, different threads in a program, so that the control of the processor will be received by the thread which has maximum priority. Then the next thread, it will come after the entire thread is been executed, the processor will be given to the remaining threads, that too always in the priority manner. If you are not assigning any priority, all the threads have received equal priority, and so they will be executed one by one in between also. Same way, there are a lot of mechanisms for creation, management and execution of the threads in Java program. These are some of the basic facts of using thread class or using multi-threading concept in Java program by deriving a class from the predefined class thread defined in the package lang. Thank you.